You've got a house, you've got a car, you got money in the bank, yes. Your tank is never running.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, then. Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines once again as we do another morning right here on WEFM. Alongside Roleza, and of course on the StreamYard we have Nicole. Nicole, good morning to you. Good morning to Roleza as well.
Good morning and good morning, everyone. Good morning, Maka. Good morning, Roleza. Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the diaspora and all our listening friends. Good morning.
You sound polite, boy.
I'm sighing. You're going to make me sigh.
Right? And it's the first greeting for the morning should be a respectable one, okay?
So, Maka, what you mean? You know, if I won the lotto, I'd be the same, okay?
You will be the same?
And if you give me half of your winnings, I'll still be the same.
If you win the lotto, who will be the first person you will call? Me?
Actually, I would not want to win the lotto, you know.
You wouldn't?
Do you know? No, seriously. Do you know when I worked in the financial sector, I managed portfolios, and one of the things that I did was I worked with all of the winners of the early sets of lottos. And can I tell you that there were many that died poor? Some of them lost it all. But that's not the reason I don't want to win the lotto. I just don't gamble. I don't play games of chance.
Okay. Not even raffles?
I contribute. I don't want a ticket.
Okay. All right.
Don't worry, if you win, just call me. I'll come down and collect the winnings.
just let one of us know. We will know what to do with it. We will definitely know what to do with it and make proper use of it.
Listen, when you see the lotto is at a certain amount and you see people lining up, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to line up and wait to win. If I'm winning already. You know what I mean? I'm winning in life. I'm winning in all the other things I want to win in.
What the Lord has for me, I will go and get. Okay? So, yes.
Yes.
How are you going, though? How are y'all?
My side, everything is good. Everything is good.
Yeah, we're good, man. No real complaints, I think. And no real complaints. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So let's get into this morning. Let me say good morning to Trevor there and good morning to Bob. Bob says, morning, Cap. You know, I don't even know who this Cap is, but I've always saying good morning to him. So
Cap
good morning.
Is that old person?
I think it's where he works, the industry that Bob works in. So he's he's actually a captain.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so good morning back to Captain and Bob there. And good morning to Wendell on the live. All right. So let's get into a few things this morning. Oh, you have anything with the carnivals are launching? I think Central Leeward. Not Central Leeward.
Not Leeward.
North Leeward is tomorrow and somewhere else.
Yes,
let me see.
Not Leeward, I think is East St. George.
Right.
East St. George is tomorrow midnight.
Right. So for those of you who want to experience, let's say you came home for, well, you're not going to be able to come home for Vinci Mass, but there are elements of the carnival season that you want to take in, and you happen to be here tomorrow. You can take part in the North Leeward Carnival launch celebrations, as well as the
East St. George.
East St. George, all right? East St. George activities. So they're going to have ongoing activities, so could be part of those things. That's what's happening in Vinci, or one of the things that's happening in Vinci for this weekend.
Well, Lisa, just before you go into the topic this morning, I saw an interesting post on social media. I think I want to, just read it out. This boss is saying when you take a taxi, do you get charged from the destination the taxi pick you up from to where you're going, or do you get charged for the destination the taxi is coming from to pick you up?
How do you charge? Do you charge from, if you're picking up somebody at Lago Heights, do you include you leaving home at Camden Park to pick them up at?
No.
Okay.
I don't do that. So if person are doing that, I don't think that is right.
So the person saying that's what happened to them?
To them, yeah. So if, let's say you're in Barley and I'm in Camden Park and you call me to pick you up to carry you to the airport, I can't charge you from Camden Park to Barley.
Okay.
If you understand.
Mm-hmm, I do.
So there are some taxi guys may include that and say, listen, I'm coming from Camden Park to pick you up in Barley. I have to include, let's say, extra $40 or what's not. I don't think that is really, let's say, I don't think that is really the customer.
Because this is their job in an event. This is the job that you are. So the destination really should be from Barley to the airport.
To the airport.
Right.
But some taxi guy may say, okay, then I'm coming from Camden Park.
Okay.
I have to burn, they may say I have to burn gas to go down to Barley, but
I've never actually thought of that though, in terms of the starting point of where the taxi driver comes from to factor in that cost. I've never thought of it that way. Yeah. Okay.
But
it's interesting.
I don't think you could charge persons for that anyway.
Okay. All right. So let's get into a few things this morning. So first up, in relation to the matter with the director acting at API, Nadia Slater. So just to know that someone has been charged in relation, they've actually been charged with attempted murder. And in her matter, in the matter of her and her aunt, so that person, his name is identified here as Kesworth Slater. He's 45 years old, also of Clare Valley. He has been charged with that matter. He has been remanded into custody, and he would appear before the court on Monday.
I'm seeing two photos. Is that the same person?
Listen, I don't know. Actually, his face doesn't look familiar to me from what I'm seeing here. So yeah, all right. So, yeah, that's what's the update with that. All right. So to get into the other substantive story. The government is not listening to the IMF. All right, the IMF recommendations they are going to go ahead with the National Development Bank. All right. So let's hear from Dr. Friday, Prime Minister Friday, in relation to that matter.
Okay, we're in a difficult time. Is this the time to do it? It is the right time to do it because this is the way we get out of the difficult situation that we're in. We have to transform our economy. We have to unleash the creative and business potential in our economy and to make it available to ordinary people to start doing things to grow our economy. And that's the way we have to get out of that situation, along with the other measures that we are intending to implement. And so that is, it does make it challenging because, well, anything that we do as government is challenging because of the high debt situation. This we warned about so many years when we were in opposition. And those who were in government at the time, they scoffed at us, that we are timid. Well, that has led us to the crisis situation that we are in.
So it's not a timid government. The government is going to go ahead with the setting up of the development bank. Now, these clips are courtesy SVG TV/NBC Radio, right?
The IMF's concern, and we've had more in-depth discussion with them beyond what was presented at the press conference, as you might imagine, and ask them what is the main concern, what is the problem, because they say one thing, but other institutions tell us, yeah, we will help you to find the funding to set it up, reputable international financing institutions.
All right. So they are going to go ahead. So just to give some more details, though, the Prime Minister, Dr. Gordon Friday, says if we are going to do it, if you're going to do it on a political basis, then you are not serious about the development of the country. So they say that it's not going to be politicized. It's not a matter of coming and showing a party card and say, listen, I come to collect. All right. So there is not going to be any political input into this. Now, for persons who might be wondering where they are getting their funding from for this, he also said that the government has already reallocated approximately $1.5 million as a seed funding and is targeting a significantly larger capital base over time. In the last budget, we put $500,000 and they said, oh, only $500,000 to fill the bank. But in fact, we've located about 1.5 million within the current budget that can be used initially as a seed funding. He also said that capital is raised, he said the government is hoping to raise at least $10 million by the end of the year to capitalize on this bank. So yeah, that's the essence of it. For the full details, it's a bit of a lengthy article. You can find the rest of that on Eyewitness News. So how you feel about this?
Well, Lisa, all I'm going to say is just God guidance and just wait and see the outcome.
But do you think it's a good move? Okay, so let's take it bit by bit. Do you think it's a good move for small businesses? Do you think it's a good move for them to possibly defy what the IMF has recommended?
But in the first place, why they bring the IMF here?
Well, I mean, to do an assessment. It's to do an assessment of the economy, maybe to get suggestions and recommendations on the way forward. But again, it's just recommendations. They don't have to implement anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we just wait and see. But in terms of the business, the small business, I agree with it.
Okay.
Fully in agreement with it.
Okay. So my thoughts on it, any possible avenue that is going to help a small business to grow and develop, I welcome it, right? Yeah. Because as small business owners, we are met with many challenges. And when you come from not being financially able in terms of you don't have that family inheritance to help you start up a business and so forth, it is generally harder on those individuals, right? Now, in relation to him saying that they're not a timid government, I do have to agree that while it is we don't know how it's going to turn out, and one of the things I'm yet to hear with this development bank is what is the interest rate going to be? I know that in Guyana, they are giving loans, but they said it's going to be interest free. I don't think that is going to happen in our case, right? We would love to have interest-free loans, but I highly doubt that is going to happen. But we haven't heard anything in terms of what the interest rate is going to be, and is it going to be competitive with what already exists out there in terms of the commercial banks, the credit unions, even the National Development Fund, right? Which also gives loans. So that is what it is that I'm waiting to hear. And I mean, you have to be able to get money moving within the economy. Small business persons no longer necessarily just want to have the typical 9 to 5, go behind a desk or work for other people. You know, it's not possible for private sector, current private sector businesses to employ everybody. Neither can the government employ everybody. People have to be able to create their own jobs, and as a result, in the future, possibly employ other persons, right? So it is something that we're going to have to wait and see if it really and truly does pay off.
And if it doesn't pay off, what's going to happen?
You see, that's the thing. I am actually looking at them setting up this bank from the context of, from the outlook of a business owner. You have to take risks. If you don't take that risk, you never know what you can become, what potential or how exactly a business could possibly grow. So even as a government, they have to take risks. Back when the airport was being considered, many persons were saying, or some persons were saying, that we don't need to have an international airport, right? You could have just have persons come through Barbados like how they were doing it before. We didn't need to have our own international airport. But it's a really and truly a chicken and egg type of situation. How would we know if we're going to be able to grow our tourism product without the airport being here, right? So it's kind of that type of conversation where you have to take the risk. And a government that does nothing is going to be condemned just as much as a government who does something. So,
Oh, yeah, we just gotta wait and see.
Yeah.
As I say, we just praying for God guidance.
Right. And just to add very quickly, I was happy to see another article here on St. Vincent Times titled "Government in Push with ECCB to Unlock International Payment Systems." Again, for persons and small businesses, for those in the creative industry, those as social media content creators, etc. Being able to be paid through these international platforms is something that we desperately need. All right. So I was quite happy to see that article, and you can look on St. Vincent Times to get more information on that. All right. So we are heading on out of this segment and straight into today's traffic talk.
Nothing else sounds as good as WEFM, the Clean